We're Dennis and Liz, full-time RVers who have spent the past 11 months RVing all across Mexico in our Class C RV.
Salud.
Having traveled to 20 of Mexico's 32 states at this point, we can say we feel pretty safe traveling throughout Mexico.
¿Qué pasó?
Okay?
Money.
But one state everyone told us not to visit was Guerrero, a level 4 do not travel advisory by the U.S. consulate. Guerrero State is most commonly known for the city of Acapulco. Once a worldwide hotspot for the famous and elite in the 1960s and 70s, has now gained a new title, being among the top 10 most dangerous cities in the world.
Now it is one of the most violent cities in all of Mexico.
2017 just marked the 5th straight year that Acapulco has been Mexico's most murderous city.
Americans rarely come to Acapulco now.
Thanks to a high concentration of cartels in the city, crime has escalated over the past few decades. But despite its bad reputation, we decided to RV to Acapulco to see the city for ourselves, hopefully getting to share a different side to Acapulco, one that highlights its beauty, diversity, and tasty regional foods, something most people will experience if they travel here as a tourist. Our visit isn't without challenges, after we get pulled over 5 times in a 2-day span, dealing with several corrupt police officers.
Un ticket, vaya.
7,000.
7,000 pesos.
Increíble! He's saying, if you pay me here, I'll let you go. This has been another drive day from hell.
But we hope today's video shows you a different side of Acapulco, one that you may not have expected. In true Eat CRV fashion, we're starting our time in Acapulco off with food. Rather than sticking solely to the hotel zone, we wanted to be able to show you a different side. So we came to Taco Mar, which was well recommended on Google. Of course, they specialize in tacos de mar, so we got tons of different types of fish tacos, starting with a marlin and rice. We got a taco a la talla, which is the catch of the day that they typically saute in chipotle or ajo, which is garlic. And then of course we got a Baja style fish taco. And then I got tacos gobernador, which is shrimp with peppers, onions, sauteed with cheese, and they give you rice and chipotle. Let's dig in.
That's legit. Sauce is really. Fish is super fresh.
Just what we needed. Definitely recommend this place. It's not far from the beach, but in town, prices are pretty affordable, and the food is really tasty. We made it to the beach. Pretty much a 10-minute drive from where we just enjoyed a lovely meal is the beach line. There's tons of huge hotels built up on the beach here. Lots of little restaurants and palapas for you to enjoy a beer under. But something that I'm noticing is crazy about this beach is the amount of people here that are just exercising. Pretty sure there's like a water polo team training right now. There's a soccer team. There were so many people jogging on the Malecon. This is definitely like a fit and healthy city. Everyone here seems to be doing some type of activity. So this beach, which is right in front of the hotel zone, I think it's Playa Horno, has much calmer waves than, for example, where we're camping. The waves literally crash where we're camping and you can feel the entire RV shake, like the earth is shaking. So this is definitely a much safer place to enjoy the water here. I think it's pretty safe to say that the ocean and the beaches are Acapulco's claim to fame and why most people visit this area, including las clavadistas de la Quebrada, which are cliff divers that jump off of that cliff into the water below. They do this like 5 times a day. They even have night shows where they do it with fire and torches. I have no idea what to expect. I'm just like anxious even looking at the cliff, and the waters are so intense. The current, I can't imagine diving into that from that height. So we're about to experience the famous show, which I'm really excited for. It was 50 pesos to get into the viewing or mirador area where you can actually watch the show. But if preferred, you can also go next door to the hotel, which is called El Mirador. And honestly, I think the restaurant balcony at the Hotel Mirador is what has the best view. So it's probably the way to go if you're coming. But I'm excited either way. This is gonna be insane. There's so many boats down there like watching as well.
That might be the best view.
Yeah.
The hotel.
Yeah, maybe the boats are the best view. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing these like beautiful yachts out here that they've probably chartered, maybe their own, who knows, but that looks like the best way to explore Acapulco. I would love to be on that boat right now.
That was super rad. These dudes are insane without question. Like, you have to have a little twinge of insanity, like someone who races motorcycles, to be able to do something like this. Because any rational thinking person would never jump off of a cliff that high. At least I wouldn't. Highly recommend it if you're coming to Acapulco. Food adventures continue. We're getting pozole. If you don't know what pozole is, neither do I really. So Liz will tell you in a second.
Pozole is a type of soup that can be found throughout Mexico. It's normally made from a meat broth such as pork or chicken, and then they add hominy to it. There can be all different flavor pozole. Typically in the south where it gets really hot, they'll even serve pozole cold, so pozole frio. They have white, red, and green pozole. Today we're going to be trying pozole blanco, and we got one of each, chicken and pork. Pozole seems to be a big thing here in Acapulco. There are pozole restaurants and shops all throughout town, pretty much everywhere we've gone. But it seems not all of them are open every day. From what we've read, they really open up on the day of the week that I guess that pozole is a specialty. We ended up finding a spot that was open though. On Google it had great reviews. And upon arrival, it is like going to Abuela's house. Not to mention we got the biggest copa de Jaimaca, which is hibiscus water. It's huge. The pozole is beautiful and so tasty. It's like a really light broth, but the hominy and the chicken that's mixed in there and the pork is like plentiful. And they give you on the side botanas. They're like side dishes. We got chicharrón, fried tortillas, aguacate, avocado, cebolla, onion, rábano, radish, and we also have a type of cheese. ¿Y pones el botanas adentro o come separado aparte?
El aguacate adentro.
Okay.
Cebolla adentro.
So good.
I love Mexico. I hope you can hear the music behind us. Someone is just in their car in the street. That was such a good meal. Probably like one of the better meals we've had throughout our travels to Mexico. That pozole was delish. The owner of the shop here is so sweet and so kind, and was pumped to have extranjeros, visitors from outside of the country here eating. I guess it's not something that happens in this part of town very often. He said a long time ago there used to be a lot more tourists, but really nowadays there's just not much tourism from other countries. So we're very glad we could be patronizing. He was so happy.
Driving a car, let alone a motorcycle through Acapulco is a little insane.
It's a little Mad Maxy in here. The drivers are very aggressive. And because of the way Acapulco is built, being built up on a cliffside that surrounds the Bay of Acapulco, it takes a really long time to get from one side to the other, and there's a lot of congestion and traffic, and the streets just seem kind of crazy. It's just a little wild to get around here.
The streets are super narrow and the intersections are a little chaotic.
But the cool thing is when you're driving, sometimes you end up in little neighborhoods on the cliffside, and there are incredible vistas overlooking the beaches and the water here. I see why it's such an appealing place that just grew into this like monster of a city, because it's so beautiful. We made a little detour after our lunch stop, and we are going to see a famous mural by the painter Diego Rivera. He is one of the most famous Mexican painters, as well as his wife,
Frida Kahlo.
I'm so proud of you for look at us knowing our art history. And both of them became very famous here. Diego Rivera is probably one of the most revered Mexican painters, and there is a mural that he did on the side of a house.
This mural is actually pretty interesting because it's not a painting, it's
A
like
mosaic.
It's like a bas-relief mosaic, yeah.
It's really beautiful, definitely unique. It seems like it's on a house that's being renovated, so unfortunately a bit of it is covered up, but it's still really cool to see. Only a Wednesday, so I can't even imagine what this place would be like if you were coming on a weekend or when tourism's at its peak. But it's so full of life. There's so many people here just enjoying the ocean. Something that we've definitely noticed is there's not a ton of extranjeros or tourists from other countries. It's mostly Mexican nationals here. I'm sure a lot of them live here, but I'm sure a lot of visiting from Mexico City. This is a very popular destination to visit since it's only about a 4.5–5 hour drive from Ciudad de Mexico. We're trying to stay away from the hotel zone, which is super built up and touristic. There was a lot of chain restaurants, and it just felt like a huge tourist trap. Instead, we've kind of stuck to the old side of town, which to us has been a lot calmer and way more beautiful. We've loved the little neighborhoods. There's lots of great restaurants that I feel like have really authentic food to try rather than just trying cuisine from other countries. I feel like if you're in Mexico, enjoy it, right? And while the public beaches of Acapulco are beautiful, I'm pretty sure we have the best spot possible. Just outside of town, about a 25-minute drive from the main Centro of Acapulco, is our campground, which is Acapulco RV Park. It's full service, meaning we have electricity, dump, and water on site. They have beachfront spots, and they have spots tucked between palm trees that are equally beautiful. And we are on a completely secluded beach. The waves here are really intense, so you're not able to actually swim, which is one downside, but you also don't have to fight any crowds. So we came over to our side of town to watch the sunset tonight, because we can actually see the sun go over the horizon line here. It's beautiful. Plus, we have really tasty beers to drink here, and it's really nice not to have to drive anywhere. Our short time here in Acapulco has already come to an end.
We really didn't have that much time to explore. We knew that coming into the city, but it was on our route out, and after hearing how many people told us simply not to come here, we had to see for ourselves if it was really as dangerous as everyone says.
Right.
And I think our consensus is...
Right now, no.
But it doesn't mean that there hasn't been serious crime that made this such a dangerous place and gained the reputation that it did. We spoke with a lot of people asking them if they thought it was safe, what kind of
local people.
Yes, local people, not other tourists. And they did share that, you know, even as short as 4 years ago, it was seriously dangerous even for tourists. Yeah. And it wasn't something to take lightly. So we're not trying to say that crime doesn't exist here. It very clearly does. Yeah. But it does not mean that the entire city, especially right now, is a dangerous place to be.
It's definitely worth coming here, taking a couple of days, if not a week, and just relaxing on the beach, listening to the sound of the waves. You know, go find some awesome pozole in the city center. It's definitely worth a stop.
We have a huge drive day ahead of us, so we have to head out. Well, we got pulled over.
Maybe you need a front plate, and that's why he stopped us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Yeah, I guess that's why we got stopped.
Yeah. Some states in Mexico require a front plate and a back plate, and some states don't. Apparently, Guerrero is one of the states that require both. And we didn't have a front plate, so
they flagged us.
Yeah.
But once we showed them and told them where we were from and our paperwork, they let us go.
Yeah. Super cool. Seemed a little sketch at first because we didn't think we'd do anything wrong.
We were like, what the hell? We're turning on our camera. This is...
But this is the thing. If you know you haven't done anything wrong, then there's no reason to be annoyed or afraid. And as long as, you provide what they need, usually you're good to go, unless you get a bad apple, but I feel like that's very few and far between. Oof. Hola.
¿Español?
Un poco.
¿Cómo así?
¿Por qué? Aquí no puedes bajar vehículos pesados.
Okay.
De 3:30 en adelante ya no pueden bajar.
Ah, okay.
Y arriba hay anuncios.
Okay, ya no hemos visto.
Por favor.
Where your license. Google dicen va aquí.
Pero señalamientos no dice Google. Y hay que pagarlo el día de mañana. Pagarías...
No, vamos a México. Necesito ir a México hoy.
Pagarían 7,800 por ahí.
No, ok, vamos a la estación y podemos pagar allí.
Sí, tú puedes ir hoy, pero no va a estar tu documento hasta el día de mañana.
No, porque necesitamos ir a México hoy. Vamos a México porque necesitamos ir a la frontera de Estados Unidos.
Pero ahorita, ¿a dónde vas?
México.
Pero vas mal.
Pero no sé.
Ya
Okay.
pagarías tus 7,000 allá y ya te liberan tu documento.
7,000.
Sí.
7,000.
7,000 pesos.
Increíble.
¿Te
Y
estacionas ahí?
no tenemos pesos because we have no idea where we're driving and we're just following Google's instructions. We're on a road supposedly that we are too much weight for. And he was trying to say that in order for us to pay, they keep our license overnight and we come back and get it.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Este es nuestra 21 estado y no tenemos este problema en otras ciudades.
Arreglamos tu infracción aquí. ¿Cuánto quieres pagar? Aquí te vas.
He's saying, if you pay me here, I'll let you go.
So what are we gonna do?
I don't know. I want to go. It really is such a crummy system built on putting pressure to give you no other option but just to pay them. And it just perpetuates this problem.
I can guarantee you if we would have went to the station it wouldn't have been 5,000 pesos. If we didn't have to be in Mexico today, we would have taken that to the station. Yep, it stops. Oh my god.
This is insane.
Oh my god. We're never gonna get there, dude.
Eres la tercero policía a intentar hacer una infracción hoy, en una hora. Y no entendemos porque todos dicen, ok, después de esto estás bien. Ok, so sabemos esto ahora. Por favor, podemos ir.
Carrera de la Acapulco. ¿Acapulco han visitado más días? ¿Han venido otra vez?
No, la primera vez.
¿Es la primera vez?
Sí, probablemente la última vez. ¿Por qué esto?
Mire, entonces simplemente va a ser una llamada de atención
Gracias, señor. Gracias.
para que vuelvan a venir a Acapulco.
Gracias. Well, that was a much nicer experience. Exactly what the first guy should have done. The first guy totally robbed us, knew he was robbing us. And the first mistake we made was giving him our actual license. He knew the second that we did that,
That's where we messed up.
that's where we messed up. And we've advised you not to do that. We even have photocopies so that if this exact thing happened, they don't have our actual license to hold it against us.
As long as you show them your official license, don't give it to them, show it to them, and then give them the copy, that should be sufficient. We're never giving anyone but a National Guard or a federale our license immediately ever again.
And if you were driving in Acapulco coming on the Rapido Road, you can drive here. It's the easiest way to get to Acapulco, and it's probably how you're going to be getting here. So it's inevitable. You just need to stay on the side. Do not go down the center roads. So there's side roads that look like they go through the town. As annoying as it is, that's the road you need to be on.
Yep, and if you see a bridge coming up, immediately get all the way over to the right and do not drive over the bridge, because that's where the 3.5 ton infractions come into play.
The third cop did explain to us that the maximum infraction that you can get is a 5,000 peso infraction. But he said if you're a foreigner and obviously you're not from here and you probably don't know the laws, they will actually charge you a lesser amount, which is the minimum, which is probably going to be around 3,600 pesos. So technically we still paid far less than we would have if we had gone to the station. But
that's the kind of behavior we don't want to condone.
Exactly.
Because now that guy is going to just continue to do that thing because he thinks people like us don't know.
Yeah. Learn from our mistakes here. I can't believe we got taken.
And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet.
Okay. We're ready to go. We're getting an extra early start today because what happened to us yesterday, we don't want to happen again. So even if there's delays, like the 3 cop stops we had coming out of Acapulco yesterday, we should still make it to our destination by dark. We overnighted in some random town. The RV park's actually kind of nice. It was quiet, so that was welcome. But today, we're gonna push all the way through past Mexico City to San Miguel de Allende. Should be a much better drive day today because we're getting started off on a better foot.
And this is also a perfect time to fill you in on some of the changes that we've been keeping from you. Originally, we were supposed to be here for 6 whole months, going throughout all of mainland Mexico and then taking a ferry over to Baja to continue our explorations. But we ended up finding out some big news with our family. My sister is going to be having a baby shortly. It's her 2nd child, and if you've watched any of our past vlogs, you know we absolutely love being an aunt and uncle to our sweet, adorable niece, Layla. So I really want to be able to be there for the 2nd child, especially since I'm the younger of the 2. Like, my sister was like, you don't need to come home, it's no big deal. I was like, dude, I'm the second child. You're telling me I'm not a big deal here. So we're heading back to Florida. It just feels right to be able to spend time with my family. We have lots of stuff we want to work on the RV as well. If you have specific questions about RV life here in Mexico, make sure to put them in the comments below so we can hopefully answer them in the video coming up. And if you're looking for further support, make sure that you check out our RVing Mexico guide. It covers absolutely everything you want to know about RVing here and even gives you our personalized map with hundreds of destinations, campgrounds, and things to explore and do throughout all of Mexico and Baja. So the guide's made to help you create your own personal trip and have the confidence to travel throughout the country. If you want to go a step further, we've also added a tier to our patrons, which allow you to have your questions answered in real time. Just looking for advice or feedback on what to do, we can help you with that. So make sure to check out our patrons. It's a way to support our channel. And if you're looking for your own trip for Mexico, it's definitely nice to have that one-on-one support. Now that you're up to date, let's put a move on it.
Today has been an even worse drive day. God.
¿Periférico?
See. Do not drive through Mexico City. Even on the Periférico, it is absolutely insane. And technically you're not supposed to be a camion on the Periférico, so we ended up taking the side roads, and the side roads are extremely hard to navigate. There's all different ways that you can go, and if you make one wrong turn, you're now on the wrong highway, which you are not allowed to be on. So we got stopped by the police. He understood we were lost, and he told us how to make a U-turn to go back to the Periférico. But now we got stopped again, and they are trying to get money from us. They won't let us go unless we pay a huge fine, and now they're trying to talk it down, just like the other cop did. The Periférico side road has already added like 2 hours to our drive. It's absolutely insane. And of course, we ended up having to go through the city, and on certain days of the week, you're not allowed to drive as a foreign plated license plate in Mexico. But that's in the city. We knew that, but the only way to make a U-turn to get off the road we weren't allowed on was to go through the city. Of course, literally the one road we had to do a U-turn on, we got pulled over.
I understand. So we just keep going straight, or what's the deal now?
So look, keep going straight, then we get to the Periférico, and we are getting on the Periférico. The point of the lesson here today is to avoid driving around Mexico City at all costs. Even if there's other routes that take way longer, take it. Because it's not worth the headache, the stress, the complications, the confusion.
Well, we made it. We left at 9:30 a.m. and we just arrived at 5:30, meaning it took us 8 hours for what was supposed to be a 5-hour drive. Fortunately, I didn't actually end up giving any money to the cop today, so we were able to kind of scathe away without losing any pesos. Just stinks that the system can be so corrupt, that there's so much pressure. You really don't have much of a choice but just to pay to make the problem go away. But we're here. We're in San Miguel. And the good news is we have a lot of fun stuff planned.
I'm loving this.
Guys, fantastic.
Day 2 of luxurious experiences here in San Miguel de Allende is off to an amazing start.
So of course, as soon as we start the camera, something explodes or crashes into something else, or some baby starts crying, or the guys who've been sitting on the corner playing on their phones for half an hour while we've been sitting here decide to start their truck. We'll just, no, keep it rolling, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. It's all right. The food adventures continue with squeaky brakes. I'm serious. I got pissed at Liz just now because she turned the camera off and it was quiet. You could hear my F-bomb from a mile away. Now the camera's on and magically.
Called requeño, I believe, which is like ricotta. Requeseño, yeah, that's it. Requeño, we don't know.